most accurate weather team, tracking a 19 first alert weather day.
We have a pair of 19 first alert weather days coming up today and tomorrow. Both days will have a risk for storms that may be severe, but tomorrow especially, we're going to be feeling the heat and the humidity out there, and so it'll feel closer to 100 degrees tomorrow when you factor both in. But either way, this is our risk for severe storms today, and you can see it's only a level 1 out of 5, so not a great risk, not a real high risk for storms, but nonetheless something that you'll want to watch out for. We could see some damaging wind gusts, some heavy rain and frequent lightning, and then some large hail as well. So the risk is very isolated. Not every location may even see a storm today, but we also have that risk tomorrow. Notice it's very similar areas. All of Northeast Ohio shaded again, around as storms as possible tomorrow morning, and then perhaps a stray 1 or 2 during the afternoon. So let's actually time things out for you starting around noon and really through the evening hours around 9 o'clock. The opportunity for isolated showers and storms to develop. 1 or 2 of these may turn severe. Then we have a bit of a break then from midnight to 9 a.m. So overnight through the start of the day tomorrow, more storms will be possible, and these could also be severe. And then on Monday afternoon, a lower storm risk, just a stray storm can pop, but it's going to be hot and humid. So just keep this in mind. We are not going to be seeing a real widespread coverage of storms this afternoon, but anything that can develop would have the potential to be severe. Temperatures today are going to be hot, so severe storms love to thrive on these types of temperatures. We're in the lower 90s, offset a bit by a breeze, southwest 10 to 20 miles per hour, but either way, we'll be watching for this very carefully. Temperatures right now already warming up well into the 70s out there, 77 already in Cleveland. What may end up slowing the warming a bit this morning, though, later on are some clouds moving in from the west, as well as these showers. Now, this is a dying complex of storms that was out across parts of the upper Midwest earlier, so it may end up bringing a little bit of light rain or at least some sprinkles primarily to our western counties. This would work to stabilize the atmosphere for a time, but then the opportunity for new storms to form as it leaves behind boundaries, and we also have another complex that will be weakening but still coming at us from southern Wisconsin and northern Illinois. So the atmosphere very fluid these next few days, which means that things can change honestly hour by hour, and we just have to stay a step ahead of it as best we can. So notice First Alert Future View not showing a whole lot for this afternoon, but you still want to be aware of anything that pops up. Notice storms coming in overnight. This is 3 a.m., so there could be some complexes out there. Not much going on tomorrow afternoon, maybe a stray storm or 2 until the evening hours, and then more storms coming at us on Tuesday as well in the hot and humid environment before things finally feel more refreshing after that. So it's not just the storms, it's the heat and humidity as well. It's going to feel like close to 100 degrees during the hottest part of the day tomorrow, and in the upper 90s on Tuesday before a nice refreshing change towards the middle of the week. So we have first alert weather days today and tomorrow, storm risk, and the heat and humidity will be on, and then scattered storms linger into Tuesday, Wednesday, a few showers in the morning as well before a very nice refreshing change towards the end of the week and start of the weekend. Sunshine, cooler, and much lower humidity.